Alright guys, today we're going to be creating this neon glow effect. So you're going to find an image that you've taken, preferably something that has darker tones, and a leading line area, so like this pathway here that I've selected. Now let's go ahead and start fresh. So I want to make sure that your settings are the same as mine. So let's go ahead and go to Image, Image Size, and then let's go ahead and change the size down to 12 by 8. And that way, all the settings that we continue through as far as the brush sizes or any other sizes, it'll be pretty similar to what we're doing here. So again, 12 by 8, hit OK. And again, that was just image, image size, 12 by 8. Hit OK. Now that our images are the same size, we're going to come down and grab a new layer. We're going to create this as our glow shape. We're going to come over and grab our pen tool. And then while we're making this, we're going to hold down the shift key so that makes it a straight line. So primary click. Go up to the top here somewhere. Primary click with that shift key held. Come over here, holding that shift key and primary click. And then come down. Let's try and line that up pretty good. Primary click. And you're going to see that it creates that straight line. Now let's double check that our paintbrush is set to 10. And then go back to the pen tool. And then we're going to right click on that path and you're going to see stroke path. Now making sure that our foreground is white and our brush was 10, you're going to use the brush tool to create that stroke path. And then you're going to see that it creates it there. Now right click and delete that path because we don't need it now. Now you're going to right click on this. Come down to duplicate layer. And we're going to do first glow. And we're going to double click on that to activate the layer style. And then you're going to come down to outer glow. Make sure your blending mode is set to screen. Your opacity is 90%. And then whatever color you would like, go ahead and select on a color. I'm going to go ahead and select blue for now. Hit OK. Make sure that the technique is softer, spread at 0, and the size 15. Now your contouring, you're going to want to make sure that it is that point. Should be the second one over. And then your range will be 50%, jitter is at a 0. Then go ahead and hit OK. Now you're going to come up to Filter, Blur, Gaussian Blur. What we want to do is make that neon glow seem more of a glow. So this first one we're going to do 5 pixels. Hit OK. Now we're going to duplicate this again. So right click, duplicate. And we're going to have this as our second outer glow. And then we're going to come up to Filter, Blur, Gaussian Blur, and we're going to have that one at 20. So this is giving us layers of that bright neon glow going from super bright in the center to a subtle glow and then a larger outer glow. Now what we want to have is some connection to the base here. So let's go ahead and come down to our background, create a new layer, and we're going to name this base. This is going to be the base layer for that glow. We can zoom in a little bit, so Control plus. Press the spacebar and it's going to turn your mouse into the hand, and then you can move that up and around if you need to. We're now going to grab our brush tool, and then we're going to make that a much larger brush. And then for right now, we're going to go ahead and hit once. Now you can see that it's white, so I'm going to do Control Z, and I actually want to grab that blue color that we have, or very close to it, and then come back here and try that again. I'm going to hit that a couple times, and then now what we're going to do is Control T, and we want to not have this constrained, so you're not going to hold the shift key down unless you're on the newer version of Photoshop 20 or 21, then you will hold the shift to actually constrain. But if you're on an older version like our classroom, you will hold the just the mouse, and then we're going to squish that so that it looks a little bit more flat. All right, and then go ahead and hit OK. Then you can do Control J to duplicate that layer. Grab our move tool, and we're going to move this second one over. And the next steps we're going to do, we actually want to connect these two. So holding the shift key, you're going to select both base layers over here in your layer panel. Right click on that, and then we're going to go down to where you see merge layers. All right, and so now what we're going to do is we're actually going to turn that opacity down a little bit so that it looks like it's glowing. The other thing we want to do is we're going to do that same filter effect of using that blur at that 20 pixel. Hit that, and you're going to see that it will diffuse that a little bit. And then we can actually turn the opacity up just a little bit more. And it looks like it's connected there on the ground and starts to have that stronger glow where it would be connecting. Now what we want to do is create the overall ambient light that would be coming off of that and affecting the area around it. That is your ambient light. All right, so what we're going to do is select on this background layer again, come down here, and we're going to grab a gradient map. All right, so what we want to do is up here on the gradient map and the properties, double click on that. You're then going to select this top here, and this is the color we want to now be a blue tone. Hit OK. We want to change the location to 50. And then the color down here, we're actually going to turn that to a deeper blue. Hit OK and OK. Now you're going to think right off the bat, wow, that looks a bit crazy. Over here, selected on our gradient map layer mask, we're going to hit Control-I to invert that. Now with a paintbrush, and we're going to use white, so just hit the little arrows, or you could also hit the X key. Remember, white reveals, black hides. And then what we can do with a low opacity brush, we can come in and start to paint in around where that ambient light would be given off and hitting the area around. And let's say you do a little bit too much, all you have to do is switch back to that black because the black will hide, and then you can come in and subtly take that back down. All right, and there is a quick rundown on how to create this neon glow effect in Photoshop. You're going to save this as a PSD and a JPEG, and then you'll also take a screenshot showing all your layers over here and submit this on Canvas.